Welcome. This is Residiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so I have put in 2 million gold into the treasury at the safe house, and this is what it looks like when it's full. Nice and satisfying. So yes, this is the greed, avarice part of the game where I don't really need, so yeah. There's 2 million in there. Gives you an achievement within the game, so collect my 1,000 gold reward for getting that achievement. So my treasury is complete. Alright, so we were starting the Assassin's Guild line. Kill Grelad the Kind. Yeah, I don't know what is going on with like the thieves that populate here. I don't know if I'm supposed to kill them, be on their side, or what. They attack me. I mostly avoid the fight.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Grelad.
It's Grelad.
Oh, no more!
Someone has killed Grelad.
Victory! Grelad is dead! Alexis did it!
Hooray! Grelad the Kind is dead at last.
Victory's yours! I submit!
Yay!
I've seen some videos of people who use, Fury, so that all the kids kill her. I think that would be kind of traumatizing to them. If I want to help them, I don't want to do it, but it's hilarious. I think that's something my evil guys would do, though. Happily. Hey, sweetheart. Hi, Regis. I hope you have a good night with lots of huntings, good smells. I just heard a guard say, a fight. Yep. He's off to kill a pigeon or a rat.
Well, Growled the Kind. Is she, you know?
Grella the Kind is dead.
Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. And thank you. Thank you again.
You're welcome, honey. Stay safe, rat. It's dangerous out there. Alright, I'm gonna go sleep in Warm Sun, Warm Stone. I think that's the name of the home. And see if my courier unbugs. If not, we know how to teleport to them.
A few septims for my supper is all I ask.
At reasonable prices.
Alright, I've tried a couple of things, but I don't really see a way to
Need something?
initiate this quest. Using console right now. The issue is I can advance the quest, but there's a trigger where she needs to abduct me. So I can't use the command to move to her after initiating the quest. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get the courier item or fix it later, but right now, courier!
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Yeah, got this note.
From who?
Don't know. Creepy fella, black robe, couldn't see his face. Paid me a pretty sum to get that into your hands, though. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Okay. We know. Alright, good. Okay. So I have simultaneously unscrewed the, I don't want to traumatize Kaidan. Breeze Home's right there. I know I could zip in and take a nap, but, I don't have to make him see that. That's not a great reunion. I haven't done this quest line in a really long time. So we'll see. I haven't completely forgotten it, but I also don't completely remember it. No, okay. Yay! We did it! Okay, good.
Sleep well.
What? Where am I? Who are you?
Does it matter? You're warm, dry, and still very much alive. That's more than can be said for old Grelod,
You know about that?
Half of Skyrim knows. Old hag gets butchered in her own orphanage. Things like that tend to get around. Oh, but don't misunderstand. I'm not criticizing. It was a good kill. Old Crone had it coming. And you saved a group of urchins to boot. But there is a slight, problem.
Remain silent.
You see, that little
I don't like talking to
Aretino
her.
boy was looking for the Dark Brotherhood. For me and my associates. Grelod the Kind was, by all rights, a Dark Brotherhood contract. A kill that you stole. A kill you must repay.
You want me to murder someone else? Who?
Well now, funny you should ask. If you turn around, you'll notice my guests. I've collected them from, well, that's not really important. The here and now. That's what matters. You see, there's a contract out on one of them, and that person can't leave this room alive. But, oh, which one? Go on. See if you can figure it out. Make your choice. Make your kill. I just want to observe and admire.
Remain silent.
Am I to take your silence as acceptance?
Whatever.
Then you know where we stand. Make your kill and we're square. Repayment of your debt is but a discreet knife thrust away.
Okay, so usually when I get to this point, if I am actually choosing to be an assassin, I kill all of them. Oh, they're not wearing hoods because I took off all their hats. But look, he's got the cool monk robes. Nice. I saw something that I thought was brilliant that I have never thought to do. You use clairvoyance. It'll tell you which one is the contract. See? And now that I know that, I could be extra smart.
The conniving Khajiit. Cat like that was sure to have enemies. It's no wonder you chose him. When most would speak, you listen. You think. You understand that the only thing that matters is you following my orders. To kill.
So I'm free to go?
Of course. And you've repaid your debt in full. Here's the key to the shack. But why stop here? I say we take our relationship to the next level. I would like to officially extend to you an invitation to join my family, the Dark Brotherhood. In the southwest reaches of Skyrim, in the Pine Forest, you'll find the entrance to our sanctuary. It's just beneath the road, hidden from view. When questioned by the Black Door, answer with the correct passphrase, "Silence, my brother." Then you're in, and your new life begins. I'll see you at home.
What enemies? Who? Where? Why? It's probably a mud crab somewhere just being a jerk. Oh my god. This just makes me crazy. Like, why do this when, like, every mud crab in the vicinity can stop you from traveling? I'm not in combat, so I'm never gonna know when it's good to be out of combat. It's just a swimming fox. Another minute, I'm gonna teleport. Yeah, see, this is a great place for teleporting. Let's go to Roland Manor. That's the best use for teleport. Fuck off, random mud crab.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Yeah, okay. Nice to know you have the health and safety of your townsfolk at heart, random guardsman. Silence, my brother. Fun fact, my husband used to have that as his ringtone, which was awesome and freaked people out a lot. I think now he has a sound effect from the ping from the bridge on Star Trek.
Ah, at last. I hope you found the place all right.
So what happens now?
Well, what happens now is you start your new life in the Dark Brotherhood. You're part of the family, after all. This, as you can see, is our sanctuary. You won't find a safer place in all of Skyrim. So get comfortable.
Remain silent.
Yes, the silence suits you. Gives you an air of mystery.
Ugh.
Now, down to business. I'm arranging a job for you. But in the meantime, go talk to Nazir. He may have some smaller contracts to tide you over. Soon the Night Mother will arrive. And things around here are sure to get even more interesting. Ah, but one last thing. A welcome home present. The armor of the Dark Brotherhood, May it serve you well in all your endeavors. Be sure and introduce yourself to your new family members.
Again. Do the part where he tries to buy you some candy.
Okay, wait. Here we go. Oh, you're such a pretty little girl. Would the sweetie like a sweetie? Oh yes, how about some chocolate? Oh yes, please, kind sir. My mama and papa left me all alone, and I'm so very hungry. I know a shortcut to the candy shop, through this alley. Oh yeah, very good, very good. Mine is dark down here. Oh, but you're so beautiful, such a lovely smile. Your teeth! No! Arrgh!
No, Babette, but you are so wicked.
What about you, Festus? How did that last contract turn out?
Oh, yes, please, old man. Regale us with your tales of wizardry.
Ah, the young and stupid. Always mocking the experienced and brilliant. My contract went very well, I'll have you know. Tried a new spell. Little something I've been working on in my spare time. Came this close to turning that priest inside out. Damned messy.
And what of your latest, Arnbjorn? Something about a Khajiit. Merchant, was it?
Oh, a big doggy chasing a little kitty. How adorable.
These guys aren't as funny as they think they are.
I am not adorable, it was not funny, and he wasn't a merchant. He was a Khajiit monk, a master of the Whispering Fang style. But now he's dead, and I have a new loincloth.
Ew.
So you're the newest member of our dwindling, dysfunctional little family. I've heard quite a bit about you.
Remain silent.
Ah, going for the mysterious and brooding
No,
thing,
mostly just
huh?
the disapproving and detached.
That may work for your targets, but you'll find I'm not so easily impressed.
Astrid said you had some work for me.
Did she now? Well, as it turns out, there are a few lingering contracts we haven't had the chance to complete just yet. And more, dribbling in from time to time. I'll assign them to you as they become available, to be completed at your leisure.
Sounds simple enough.
It is. These aren't particularly glamorous assassinations, I'll be honest. Don't pay much either. But they'll keep you busy. Just do them as you're able. There's no real time limit. The targets aren't going anywhere. You can turn each one in as it's completed, or wait and turn in the whole group when all the targets have been eliminated. Whichever works for you.
I'm ready for the first set of contracts.
Well then, let's get started. I've got 3 available right now. Your targets are the beggar Narfi, an ex-miller named Enodius Papias, and Baytild, a mine boss. When you've completed all those, we'll see if I might have some more.
Alright.
Go on now.
Welcome, my sister. Welcome to our sanctuary. You have made the right choice joining us, I assure you.
Okay. The only thing I remember doing here before is spending a lot of time with Babette because she is
Yes, you're the new
she's an alchemist,
member.
and I just added her to my
Consider me the cranky old uncle.
Barrett's Ashes.
You go your way, I'll go mine.
Okay, might need that later. Oh, I remember that. I just try not to use them in alchemy. Hello, sweetheart. I don't remember the pet spider.
There you
I think
are.
this is a remake.
Astrid's told me all about you. Heard she pulled the old choose your victim gad with you. Ah, I love that one.
There's too much of an obsession these days with knives and arrows. You could kill someone just as easily with a well-placed spell.
Yeah, I think I have a Sanctuary remake. Looks good.
Me? I've been part of the Dark Brotherhood from the day I first hatched. I am Shadow Scale, you see. Born under the sign of the Shadow.
I mostly don't talk to people out of protest for this not being Oblivion. I'm gonna be bummed to have to kill Narfi, but there you go. Muffin? Muffin! Hi, sweetheart. Yeah. Okay, I'm off to kill somebody. I'm sure
We
you're
won't
gonna
give
kill
up this
something
port to
too.
the Imperials without a fight. Don't you worry.
Don't join the Assassin's Guild, they're jerks.
From what I hear, you're the one gave the Thalmor a black eye. Sure know how to pick your enemies, don't you?
Ring of the Minor Assassin. How ironic. Oh, that's right. I have the mod where I take heads. I hadn't tried that yet. That's kind of freaky. But I'm the one that installed it, so, you know... So I think I am able to display them in the Legacy of the Dragonborn Chamber of Secrets. If I recall, this is a difficult stone to get to. Probably is when I'm just a human, but it's easy with Ambar. I love you, Ambar. Okay. Enjoy your evening, Saberclaw. Yeah, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me while I kill this guy. It's another good time to teleport. I don't like killing dragons at night. I'm sorry, Narfi.
Everything's all right?
Yep, no head.
But the Night Mother is mother to all. It is her voice we follow, her will. Would you dare risk disobedience? And surely punishment?
when he
Keep
says
talking,
that
little
word.
man, and we'll see who gets punished.
Oh, be quiet, you great lumbering lapdog. The man has had a long journey. You can at least be civil. Mr. Cicero, I, for one, am delighted you and the Night Mother have arrived. Your presence here signals a welcome return to tradition.
Oh, what a kind and wise wizard you are! Sure to earn Our Lady's favor.
You and the Night Mother are of course welcome here, Cicero. And you will be afforded the respect deserving of your position as keeper. Understood, husband?
Her.
Oh, yes, yes, yes! Thank you, thank you, thank you!
But make no mistake. I am the leader of this sanctuary. My word is law. Are we clear on that point?
Oh, yes, mistress. Perfectly. You're the boss.
Ah, there you are. Good. I was done speaking with that muttering fool anyway. We've got some business to discuss.
Do you have a contract for me?
I do indeed. You must go to the city of Markarth and speak with the apothecary's assistant. You'll probably find her in the Hag's Cure when the shop is open. The girl's been running her mouth. Wants an ex-lover killed. She's apparently performed the Black Sacrament. Her name is Muiri. I need you to talk to her, set up the contract, and carry it out.
Anything else?
Just do whatever the contact wishes. Be professional, represent us well, and get the job done.
Yeah.
Since it's your first contract, I'll let you keep whatever Muiri pays. She'll be generous, I'm sure. They always are.
I see you're back from Dawnstar. Vatil lies dead, I hope?
I noticed Papias is dead.
Good. And I hope you were careful in that lumber mill. Those splinters and rusty nails can be quite nasty. Your payment for a job well done.
Batilde is dead.
Of course she is. I hear the mining business is extremely cutthroat. And those hours, the murder. I could do this all day.
Please don't.
Here's your payment.
Narfi is dead.
Congratulations. You slaughtered an emaciated beggar in cold blood. You are truly an opponent to be feared. Here's your payment.
What are your thoughts on Cicero and the Night Mother?
I don't like mimes, minstrels, thespians, acrobats, jugglers, troubadours, or tumblers. Flutists give me a headache.
Flautists.
I particularly hate jesters. As a rule, I'm also not crazy about the corpses of old women. For the Night Mother, I'll make an exception. But Astrid is the only mistress I serve. Go on now.
Let's see if I can...
Does
that's
death not
eyes.
come to us all? Is it not a
no,
certainty?
It's Gabriella. If I see
I am
Babette, she's
therefore
supposed to
honoured
have
be
like a
Doom's herald,
glowing
to play
vampire
some
eyes.
part
I'm
in
gonna
the
see if it
being's
works.
inevitable end.
But perhaps another time.
Is there something in the void? Dancing? Surely the dread Lord will at least allow poor Cicero to keep her.
Wow. Cicero is the most fun.
Wait! Oh, wait! I know you. Yes, yes! From the road, Cicero never forgets a face.
You're the man with the wagon, transporting his mother.
I am! But not just my mother. Our mother, The Night Mother. Oh, yes. And you helped me. You helped poor Cicero. You talked to Lorius and got him to fix my wheel. Oh, you may have pleased me, but you have surely pleased the Night Mother. And our mother, she will never forget. Stay safe.
I do like Cicero.
Go.
And I kind of hate
of the movie.
And I kind of hate Cicero.
There will be plenty more.
The volume on his voice acting is way too high. But at least he does have a well-defined character.
Why are you looking at me like that?
The Dark Brotherhood has come, Miri.
The Dark Brotherhood. Oh, my goodness, you're really here. The Black Sacrament. It actually worked?
Obviously. Now tell me what you need.
What I need is for Elaine Dufont to die. I want him hunted down and murdered like the dog he is.
Remain silent.
I didn't know it when we were with each other, but Elaine is actually the leader of a band of cutthroats. Bandits. They're holed up in some old dwarven ruin. Raldbathar. It's near Windhelm. They use it as their base. It's where they stage their raids. I want you to go to that ruin, find Elaine Dufont, and kill him. I don't care about his friends. Do whatever you want with them. But Elaine has to die.
It will be done.
Excellent. Once Elaine is dead, I'll pay you. In gold. I've saved up a bit. I hope that'll do. But, well, there is one more thing. If you're interested.
I'm listening.
If you can, I want you to kill someone else as well. You don't have to, not as part of our deal, but if you do, I'll pay you even more. It's Nilsine Shattershield in Windhelm. If Nilsine dies too, I'll make it worth your while. Make them all pay for what they've done to me.
Yeah, I don't ask questions because the writing is really, really inconsistent. First off, how do they know who is doing the Black Sacrament if there is no Night Mother?
Don't suppose you
and no listener. So that's weird. And second off, Astrid keeps talking about being professional, and as the thing plays out, it's obviously a business. You are getting paid. You are not a religious zealot here that's a smokescreen. You're just a mercenary getting paid. So I don't like to talk to people to find out their reasons, because the only reason is the gold. That's the only reason the guild is accepting jobs. How they're learning about it, I don't know, because there is no listener. So it kind of annoys me. I wish they'd done a better job with the plot holes in the storyline and the motivations. I need a drink and some pie. Oh, it won't let me. Weird that you can't eat at a table, but you can't eat at a table. I keep forgetting that. Sharwich Conagith Letters, Volume 1. 6 Suns Height, 3E411, Cambria, High Rock. My dear Coninga, I think. I hope this letter reaches you in Sadrith Mora. It's been many weeks since I've heard from you, and I hope that the address that I had for you is still up to date. I gave the courier some extra gold, so if he doesn't find you, he is to make inquiries as to your whereabouts. As you can see, after a rather tedious crossing, I've at long last made my way from Boraine to my favorite principality in High Rock, surprisingly literate and always fascinating, Cambria. I at once ensconced myself in one of the better libraries here, becoming reacquainted with the locals and the lore. At the risk of being overly optimistic, I think I may have struck on something very interesting about the mysterious fellow, Hadwaf Nithware. Many here in town remember him, though few very fondly. When Hadwaf Nithware left, so too did a great plague. No one thinks it is a coincidence. According to my contacts here, Azura is not his only master. It may be that when he summoned forth the Daedra and accepted her star, he was doing so for someone named Balisir. Apparently, Nithware worked for this Balisir in some capacity, but I never could find out from anyone exactly what Balisir's line of business was, nor what Nithware did for him. Xanathar, the god of work and commerce, is the most revered deity in Cambria, which served that is to say, our purposes well, as the people are naturally receptive to bribery. Still, it did me little good. I could find nothing specific about our quarry. After days of inquiry, an old crone recommended that I go to a nearby village called Grimtier Garden and find the cemetery caretaker there. I set off at once. I know you are impatient when it comes to details and have little taste for Breton architecture, but if you ever find yourself in mid-High Rock, you owe it to yourself to visit this quaint village. Like a number of other similar towns in High Rock, there's a high wall surrounding it, as well as being picturesque. It's a remnant of the region's turbulent past and a useful barrier against the supernatural creatures that sometimes stalk the countryside. More about that in a moment. The cemetery is actually outside of the city gates, I discovered. The locals warned me to wait until morning to speak to the caretaker, but I was impatient for information and did not want to waste a moment. I trekked through the woods to the lonely graveyard and immediately found the shuffling, elderly man who was the caretaker. He bade me leave, that the land was haunted, and if I chose to stay, I would be in the greatest danger. I told him that I would not go until he told me what he knew about Hadwai Nethware and the patron Balisir. On hearing their names, he fled deeper into the jumble of broken tombstones and decrepit mausoleums. I naturally pursued. I saw him scramble down into an enormous crypt and gave chase. There was no light within, but I had planned enough to bring with me a torch. The minute I lit it, I heard a long, savage howl pierce the silence, and I knew that the caretaker had left quickly, not merely because he feared speaking of Nethwir and Balisir. Before I saw the creature, I heard its heavy breath and the clack of its clawed feet on stone moving closer to me. The werewolf emerged from the gloom, brown and black with slavering jaws, looking at me with the eyes of the cemetery caretaker, now given only to animal hunger. I instantly had 3 different instinctive reactions. The first was, of course, flight. The second was to fight. But if I fled, I might never find the caretaker again and learn what he knew. If I fought, I might injure or even kill the creature and be even worse off. So I elected to go with my third option, to hold my ground and keep the creature within its tomb until the night became morning and the caretaker resumed his humanity. I sparred often enough unarmed, but surely never with so much at stake, and never with so savage an opponent. My mind was always on My mind was always on danger, not only of injury, but the dread disease of lycanthropy. Every rake of its claw I parried, every snap of its foaming jaws I ducked. I sidestepped when it tried to rush me, but closed the distance to keep it from escaping into the night. For hours we fought. I always on the defense, it always trying to free itself, or slay me, or both. I have no doubt that a werewolf has greater energy reserves than a man, but it is a beast and does not know how to save and temper its movements. As the dawn rose, we were both nearly unconscious from fatigue, but I received my reward. The creature became a man once again. He was quite considerably friendlier than he had been before. In fact, when he realized that I had prevented him from going on his nocturnal rampage through the countryside, he became positively affable. Here's what I learned. Neither never returned to High Rock. As far as the old man knows, he's still in Morrowind. I visited the gravesite of his sister, Peria, and learned that it was probably through her that Nightware first met his patron. It would seem that she was quite a well-known courtesan in her day, and very well-travelled, though she chose to return home to die. Unlike Nightware, Balasir is not far away from me. He is a shadowy character, but lately, according to the caretaker, he's been paying court to Queen Alisana in Wayrest. I leave at once. Please write to me as soon as possible to tell me of your progress. I should be in Wayrest at the home of my friend Lady Elisabetta Morling in a week's time. If Balasir is at court, Lady Morling will be able to arrange an introduction. I feel confident in saying that we are very close to Azura's star. Your friend, Charwich. Charwich, Carnegie Letters, Volume 2. 3 Last Seed, 3E411, Tel Arun, Morrowind. My good friend Charwich, I only last week received your letter dated 6 Suns Height, addressed to me in Sadwith Mora. I did not know how to reach you before to tell you of my progress finding Hadwath Nightware, so I send this to you now, care of the lady you mentioned in your letter, the Lady Elisabetta Morling of Wayrest. I hope that if you have left her palace, she will know where you've gone and can send this to you. And I hope further that you receive it in a timelier manner than I received your letter. It is essential that I hear from you soon so we may coordinate our next course of action. My adventures here have 2 acts, and before I received your letter, and one immediately after. When you searched for the elusive possessor of Azura's star in his homeland to the west, I searched for him here, where we understood he conjured up the Daedric prince and received from her the artifact. Like you, I had little difficulty finding people who had heard of or even knew Nightware. In fact, not long after we parted company and you left for the Iliac Bay, I met someone who knew where he went to perform the ceremony, so I left at once to come here to Tel Arun. It took some time to locate my contact, for he is a dissident priest named Minarath. The temple and the tribunal, the real powers of Morrowind, tend to frown on his order, and while they haven't begun so much of a crusade to stamp them out, there are certainly rumors that they will soon. This tends to make priests like Minarath skittish and paranoid, difficult people to set appointments with. Finally, I was told that he would be willing to talk to me at the Plot and Plaster, a tiny tavern without even a room to rent. Downstairs, there were several cloaked men crammed around the tavern's only table, and they searched me to see if I had any weapons. Of course, I hadn't. You know that isn't my preferred method of doing business. When it decided that I was harmless, one of the cloaked figures revealed himself to be Minarath. I paid him the gold I promised and asked him what he knew about Hadwath Nightware. He remembered him well enough, saying that after he received the star, the lad intended to return to High Rock. It seemed he had unfinished business there, presumably of a violent nature, which Azura's star would facilitate. He had no other information, and I did not know what else to ask. We parted company, and I waited for your letter, hoping you had found Nightware and perhaps even the star. I confess that as I lingered in Morrowind and never heard from you, I began to have doubts about your character. You'll forgive me for saying so, but I began to fear that you had taken the artifact for yourself. In fact, I was making plans to come to High Rock myself when your letter came at last. The tale of your adventure in the cemetery at Grimtree Garden and the information you gathered from the lycanthropic caretaker inspired me to have another meeting with Minarath. Thus began the second act of my story. I returned to the plot and plaster, reasoning that the priest must frequent that area of the city to feel so comfortable setting clandestine meetings there. It took some time searching, but I finally found him, and as luck would have it, he was alone. I called his name, and he quickly drew me to a dark alleyway, nervous that we would be seen by a temple ordinator. It is a rare and beautiful thing when a victim insists on dragging his killer to a remote location. I began at once asking about this fellow you mentioned, Nightware's mysterious patron, Balasir. He denied ever having heard the name. We were still in that easy, fairly conversational stage when I attacked the priest. Of course, he was completely taken by surprise. In some ways, that can be more effective than an ambush from behind, no matter how many times I've done it. No one ever expects the friendly man they're talking to grip them by the neck. I pressed hard against my favorite spot in the soft spot part. I pressed hard against my favorite spot in the soft part of the throat, just below the thyroid cartilage, and it took him too long to react to my lunge and try pushing back. He began to lose consciousness, and I whispered that if I released my grip a little so he could talk and breathe. But he tried to call for help. I would snap his neck. He nodded, and I relaxed the pressure just a bit. I asked him again about Balasir, and he shook his head, insisting that he had never heard the name. As frightened as he was, it seemed most likely he was telling the truth, so I asked him more generally if he knew anyone else who might know something about Hadwaf Nightware. It told me that there was a woman present also during the ceremony, someone he introduced as his sister. I remembered then the part of your letter about seeing the grave of Nightware's sister, Peria. When I mentioned the name to the priest, he nodded frantically, but I could see that the interrogation had reached an ending. There is, after all, something about being throttled that causes a man to answer yes to every question. I snapped Minarath's neck and returned home. So now I am unsure how to proceed. I've made several more inquiries and met several of the same people who met Nightware remember him being with a woman. Few recall him saying that she was his sister. One or two believe they remember her name as being Peria, though they're not certain. No one, however, has heard of anyone named Balasir. If I do not hear word from you in response to this in the next couple of weeks, I will come to High Rock, because it's there that most people believe Nightware returned. I will only stay here long enough to see if there are any other inquiries I can make, only in Morrowind, to bring us closer to our goal of recovering Azura's star. Your friend, Koninga. Well, they're charming. I know where the star is. I know where the star is. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.